Hey guys, I think it's recording now. And if you see my channel, I usually record them at the desk, but I got a couch again. I think I used to do a few videos like this, and I always just think it's a better backdrop. It looks prettier in my opinion. You don't see my room and all my posters, and I just wanted to make a quick video to test if I like it better or worse or whatever. So I decided to do, I know this isn't like the best video idea. Usually I have better one. I'm going to move my shoe. But I want to do a reason that this game console is my favorite game console. And whereas my favorite game console to collect for at least. Like the PSP, actually I don't like a ton of the games. Like not more than others. Like I do like it more than DS games. At least like they're cheaper and there's a lot better quality games. Like I didn't have this as a kid, so I don't know how good it was. I know now in seeing how good it was compared to a DS, 'cause I have one. But back then, like now, I had the PS Vita, I have the Switch, I had the 3DS. Like so I know this is better than the regular DS because I had that as a kid. Technically, I had a DSi, but they have like one DSi game. Well, one that I have. It's kind of hard to find just DSi game, but it's really amazing that this was out the same time that I was playing the Phineas and Ferb games on my DS. And if you ever played that, it's a 3D platformer, but it doesn't touch this. But I want to say why this is my favorite console to collect for at least, and everything, like why I think it's really good. First thing, I want to talk about the console. First of all, not like the DS, it doesn't have any touchscreen, which means there's no gimmicky control. Of course, it does change something. I think the most gimmicky thing is sometimes you'd use the face buttons as another analog stick for first-person shooters, which I don't think is too gimmicky. I think it's something to get used to, but I don't think it's as gimmicky as using touchscreen control. I'm not saying touchscreen controls are bad all the time. Just usually I don't like them because a lot of games feel like they shove it in there. That's one reason I don't like the PS Vita as much as I like the PSP. Like the PS Vita is a great console for what it is, and I will say it's better than the 3DS hardware-wise. But I just never liked the touchscreen controls in it. That's the only thing that always draw me off. In this, it has none of them. I really think that's really cool. And it has a good bit of games. Like, it has racing games. It has fighting games. It has a lot of anime-based games. And a lot of their games are fairly cheap. For example, Naruto game. Naruto games aren't always expensive, but sometimes they are. And this, I'm trying to find some that still have tags on. Just a sec. I think I still have some. Rare few of this still has. Yeah, that one has a tag on it. I want to show you the prices. Like these are never expensive games. Yeah, I'll just put these. I'm too lazy to look for the other one. Like, does this one have one? Yeah, this one actually has one. For example, some of PlayStation's heavy hitters, Little Big Planet. So I'm trying to watch my time. 3 minutes. This is only $5.95, and you can't find cheaper ones. For example, this one I got the other day. I haven't played it yet, so I'm not sure how good it is, but it looks fairly decent, and this is $3.95. I want to give these ones just because I know you can tell these ones are cheap. Final Fantasy Crisis, $10. That's like the most expensive one I bought so far. And look how many games I have. I have around 40 something, and $10 is the most I spent on a game. And I do have, I think I can actually reach them. I didn't grab them. See if I can. Sorry, I ruined the mess. I just moved the couch in here. I just was too lazy to clean things, so I just shoved it. But I do have some games that aren't on a that don't have a case. Most of the games you can find in case are cheap. Like I know, like DS, I don't mind getting DS games cheap, like without a case if they're cheap enough. But only thing that sucks about the PSP is you need the case. I think this one might be broken. Yeah. The game, like this one, isn't that valuable. Of course, Spider-Man is going to be one of those games that kids carry around with them. But the game cases break really easily. So if you do carry these around without one, I'm trying to see if I can find it. I do have a little case for them. I'm too lazy to find it. But you need one of those little cases with them if you want to travel with them. They have little cases, kind of like the DS had, but bigger because these are bigger. But these break really easy. Only thing is, like I've actually broke one, so I'm not gonna say just a kid thing. I've accidentally broke one before, but it's avoidable. And even if these do break, like this one's broken, but they still play perfectly fine. So it's not like if you break it, it's over. It's just you want to try to keep them in fairly good condition, especially since I collect them. And for example, another cool thing I want to say about them, this came out around the same time as the DS did. I'm just trying to grab them real quick. Where aren't they? Well, I'm too lazy to look. Well, I think that's the bottom of the stack. So I am not prepared. I was looking for camera angles and things to prop my phone on, and I decided I wanted to shoot a video. So too lazy to find it. So whatever. But you can get PSP movies on here. I have Terminator. I have Fantastic Four. I just get them every time I find them cheap. But I think that's a really interesting thing. They had a lot of shows on there. I want to find Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory in there eventually. Yeah, there's one. I told you I have this. Only thing that sucks about this, well, it doesn't suck if you have money, but I just don't feel like buying it. They also have things where you connect this to a TV, and it does have a lot of PS2 points, so it's basically a portable PS2. Only thing is, I wish there was better controls. That's why I wish that the Vita was better without all the touchscreen controls, because that would be so cool to have. Whatever. Not sure if I'm going to post this. I might just be seeing how everything looks and how my lighting looks and everything, so I'm not trying to make this too long, but I'm trying to make this good enough because I might end up posting this. But I always think these are really cool to have in the car and to be able to take them with me and watch my movies. And you can find these fairly cheap nowadays. My PSP, I actually didn't know. Like, I knew a PSP existed. It's just I never really looked for one. Like, I didn't have these as a kid. The reason I wanted a DS because I had one as a kid, and I wanted to collect them. And the games, they're kind of good to have to collect them. And when I got this, I wasn't big on collecting games yet. I did have a lot of consoles, but I wasn't super big on it, Especially I wasn't big on collecting portables. I don't think I had a portable at the time. I think I had a DS, a 3DS, and that was it. And I think I just recently got my 3DS. But this, I got for $20, and it came with, $20 I got 2 games. They were loose current games, but it was enough for me to see what it can do. Actually, it was a perfect mix. I had a movie, I had Dodgeball, which I actually watched some. I don't watch a lot of these movies. For example, I really trying to get that thing to connect to a TV with, because I don't want to watch these movies for the first time on this. Like, for example, Terminator, I never watched this movie. And Fantastic Four, I watched this as a kid, but it's so long ago, it's basically the first time I'm watching it. I would go through a collection video, but I think I've done one before. But I will say some good games. This game I got for $2.95, and this is actually really good for, like, compared to what it is. I would say it's kind of like Diablo in a way, like kid-friendly Diablo. I just don't know that, like, the top-down, I just don't know what that gameplay type is called. The top-down adventure, I guess that's what I would call it. It's really good for the price, and it has a lot of the sim games on here, which I like playing on portables better. And the 3DS one, the DS one was a lot different. It has some Final Fantasy games on here. Final Fantasy Tactics is a game that a lot of people really like. I haven't got into it yet. I plan to get into it eventually. The first time I tried to play this was I didn't like it that much, so I never got back into it. But I've been getting into a lot of older RPG games, so I'm planning to try to get into it. But my favorite out of the Final Fantasy games on here, by the way, I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan. When I was little, my first console was a Wii, and then I guess I gave up on the Wii for a little bit because it got broken because people wasn't doing their chores around the house. But I didn't grow up on gaming. That's why I'm collecting games, because I want to see what all I missed out on. So don't criticize me for never playing a Final Fantasy game. The first Final Fantasy game, like real Final Fantasy game I'm playing, is the ones on PS2, which I do like, but I need to get into more. And I wish they came out on portables. Try to look at my time. I have like 4 minutes left. But I want to fill up all this time, because I like to do 15-minute videos if I can. But I want to stop talking about this. Crisis Core is my favorite. This is $10. I think I already told you. But it does have a lot of good RPG games, and it has a lot of cheap games. I know baseball isn't the best game, but I just got this because it's super cheap. 95 cents. I think that's pretty good for 95 cents. I actually tried to play it for 95 cents, even though I'm not a big sports guy. I think if you were a sports person, you'd like it better than a DS, but I also have R-Type Commander, which I haven't played a whole lot of. A lot of these games I just can't get into. I'm not sure why, but I still like collect for them. I will say this Hot Wheels is my favorite racing game. I prefer Need for Speed. Every Extend is actually a game I got recently. I think it looks like a shooter or something like that. That's why I got it, because I never played a shooter. Because, as I told you, I didn't grow up with games, but I'm getting into them. But I thought that was what it was, but it wasn't. But The City is another game I got recently. Final Fantasy. I just thought it was pretty cool that it was a Final Fantasy game. Kind of trying to get them all so I can enjoy them. This was $6. A lot of these games are super cheap. These Logan games, Siphon Filter, or whatever they're called, these games are really good. I started playing these lately. They're kind of a third-person shooter game. And I'm trying to find I only played this one, but I also got this one when I seen it because I liked it, so I want to play both of them eventually. I'm stuck on a level right now, so I haven't played it. And it's really good. I'm just trying to give, since this isn't really a big video of my collection. I think I've already done one, and then I forgot what games I put on there. So I'm not making one in a while till I watch that video game and see which one I put in there. So I'm just trying to give my favorites. Lego Batman is pretty good. And I will say SmackDown vs. Raw, even though I will say I'm not a big wrestling fan. I haven't played a lot of the new ones. I played like one to know that these ones I think are better. But I think it's really good how they crammed this game into it. Like, they barely took anything out of it. I have this one, and I have 2010, because I really like these games. I think I actually got this one for $2.95 at a little mom-and-pop game store in my mall. And these games are really good. They always have, most of the time they have story modes, and it's really good. I like the story modes. They're always way out there, story modes. And they barely take anything out of these games. I think the most they take out of there so far, as I can see, is from the PS2 one at least. Like, it doesn't look as pretty as the 360 ones. But the only thing it took out of there is the commentary, which isn't that big deal. And actually, I kind of like the music being played instead, because a lot of times the commentary just loop, and it's not that fun. Trying to find more games I haven't said. They also had the Monster Hunter games on PSP. That's the earliest one I played. Have Tony Hawk. I got this one for $1.99 at a thrift shop. A lot of people like that. I'm not a big fan. And you can also get the Sega Genesis collection, which has a good bit of games. It doesn't have every game. I wish it had what's it called? Streets of Rage. I like that one better, but it does have Golden Axe, with kind of the same. Like, it's still fun. It has Alex Kidd and the Extended Castle. It has some games that you unlock. It really sucks that you have to unlock them, because some of these games I don't know how to unlock them. I don't have time to unlock them, but I would really like to play them. And this I actually got for like $4, maybe $3 at a game exchange in my hometown. Which their game exchange isn't the best. They had little because I look at my time. They had barely any games that didn't have that had the proper case. And out of the two games, I wouldn't say the two I got were pretty good. This one I haven't played a whole lot into it, but it was I think it was actually like $2, like $2.95, and it's really good for the price. This one was maybe around the same. I remember they were around the same because I usually try to get the cheapest games I can. And I know if it was like maybe $5, I probably wouldn't have got it. But this was Neverland Coin Battles. I got it because most anime-looking games are always good, and this one really is. I can't recommend this one enough. This is a hidden gem in my opinion, because I never hear anybody talk about it. It's kind of a tactical RPG, kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics, but you build a deck. I kind of say it's Final Fantasy Tactics mixed with Yu-Gi-Oh! You collect these cards, and you put different ones. Like, some of them heal your monsters, some of them heal you, and you have to put your monsters out so your main guy can't get attacked. Because if you get attacked and you lose health, then you lose. But you can have all these guys try to help you. Like, you can have coins for monsters, coins for things to put, like buildings to put around your character, and coins for heal. I think it's really, really good. I really enjoyed this game, and I was able to get one with a manual and everything for around $4. I want to say it's that. I think if it was too much more, I would think. Like, I don't buy expensive games. I really don't. I hate buying expensive games. I bought this one. This is really good. A really good Dragon Ball game. I got this for $1.95 at a thrift shop. Only thing that sucks is my case is messed up. I'm going to end this video because I'm getting close to it. If I get over 15 minutes, then YouTube won't let me upload it. But thank you guys. Just tell me what you think about the new the new way you see me and the new camera setup. And thank you guys. See you guys later. Bye.